Okay. So, welcome, Lee, to um, the first installment of the podcast, The Orb of Confusion, in this historic day. How do you feel?
I feel like this may go nowhere, or it's going to become really cool and popular. It's only one of two
Probably the
ways.
first one, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's probably not going anywhere. Okay. Anyways, let's start off. I wrote down a couple talking points, and the first one that I wrote down was how we met, so we can entertain the people that are probably never gonna watch this. Um.
Yes, that's a brilliant idea.
Okay, so basically, how we first met was through the glorious game Overwatch. You know, the most toxic fucking game on the planet. It dropped in like what fucking summer of 2016. I was like my eighth grade year, eighth grade.
Eighth grade.
Yeah, eighth grade summer, baby. I remember, cause fucking Mitchell got that shit like the day before I did. He's like, bro, it's so fucking cool, dog. You better get this game so we can play it. And I was like, okay. Um,
Bruh, I swear to God, you guys were like sophomores when I fucking started playing with you. No, you're like,
nah,
at least freshman summer.
no. I'm telling you, dude, it was fucking eighth grade summer. I remember, cause it was like we've been playing for like a month, and I think it was in like what's after
I was
June,
like,
July. Yeah.
nah, I smell cap. I smell cap.
Nah, I'm on fucking Jose, dude. It was fucking. It was the summer of eighth grade, like going into ninth grade. I remember. Fucking, you can ask Mitchell. If you don't believe me, you can fact check me. But for all intents and purposes,
This is what fact checkers say.
Africa fact checkers. Um, but yeah,
Damn.
and I remember like um I wasn't on at the time and Mitchell was playing and then he was like, "Yo, Dylan, you gotta meet this guy. His name's Combayo. He's so cool, bro." And I'm like, "Pfft, like I don't think he can be as cool as me." But lo and behold, here he is, fucking senior year, coming to my damn house, flying down. Who would have thought? But yeah, but overall, like what were your first impressions of meeting us?
Bruh, I saw Mitchell in the car, and I was like, bruh, this is actually happening. I'm not like about to get my organs siphoned out my asshole and fucking sold on the black market, and then get catfished or debated. I'm like, this is actually happening. I fucking waited like 3 years to meet the boys, and it's actually going to go down. Like,
What do you mean? What do you mean saw him in the car? I don't understand.
I saw him like at the airport. Like, I saw him like pulling up with his dad,
Oh, yeah,
like to
yeah,
pick
yeah.
me up and shit.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like that was one of my fears when I first, because like you never know with people online. Like they can be like the nicest fucking person and then like end up wanting to just take your kidneys and sell them on the black market. So like I was like, I don't know how this Lee guy is gonna be. What if he's like trying to kill me and fucking stow my body in a dumpster? But nah, after meeting you, I was like, he is not capable of that.
I'm fucking shorter than all of you.
Wait, that's true. Fucking Mitchell and Zach are like, they're just gentle giants.
Fucking World Trade Center right there, and then
Leaves the planet flew into
me and you.
them. Yeah, but
No, you're like 2 inches taller than me, bro.
you're just
I was kind of bummed.
I want to meet
I
you.
can't say you're short anymore. I used to make fun of you. I can't do that.
You call
I was
me
like, once I
short.
see you in person, I can't. It's over.
Call me
The
short and
jig is up.
fat, and it hurt my feelings.
Big fat Dylan.
But nah, like, and through after meeting Lee and like we just kind of like hit it off and shit, and then after that, he introduced us to like all of his friends, like Danny, my fucking dad. I love that man. And then fucking eventually Christian Cap, and then Josh, and then Rainey. We didn't meet Rainey. Like I met Rainey when we were still playing Overwatch, but like I didn't really like befriend
Yeah,
him or
you didn't like
anything.
Yeah, we didn't like play with him as much. Like we only started playing with him a lot recently. But you
Yeah,
like knew he existed.
yeah.
But he was just a concept.
It was through Rocket League. That's how we fucking became friends because I remember you were like, bro, my friend Rainey is so good at this, and he was just like being the funny guy, and I was like, oh my god, robot, robot.
Me.
Please, what is happening?
Oh, I don't know. I fucking yo, this place sucks. I hate this place.
All right, okay, you're back to normal. You're back to normal. I'm gonna have to cut
Alright,
that part out. Big fun edit time.
the sticks be like time for connection interrupted.
but um, but yeah, I remember when we first created the legendary group chat that is now going by the name of Shakes of Confusion. And for everyone that's gonna be confused as to why it's called the Shakes of Confusion, I'll get into it. Well, to explain that, we'd have to go back a long way as to when it was created. Talking about, cause didn't we? Weren't we like playing Overwatch and it was me, you, Zach, Mitchell, and Danny, and then like
Hmm.
we were talking about the scariest like Courage the Cowardly Dog like episodes or something like that.
Honestly, I don't remember that far back. I just know that like all of us were like the original like fucking initiates. So actually, it was me, you, Zach, and Mitchell, and then I later added Danny, and then
Dude, I'm
from
pretty sure
there,
Danny was there. Cause I'm pretty sure I remember it was like we were talking about the scariest one. Cause I'm scrolling through it now and I'm trying to go all the way back to the first one. I think the first picture we saved was the fucking nigga that's like, return this. Yeah, here it is. Return the slab. The fucking that nigga. And
turn the slide.
um, the fucking the Lucio from that one video. Fuck, I forgot the name of it.
Oh yeah, 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 like an enemy Hanzo, that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. You were like, still going? Cause that's all you play. And I was like, yeah. But yeah. And
So
so,
ugly.
but so that's really how we met, and we just kind of hit it off, and been friends ever since. And Lee visited us recently over this hearty 2019 Thanksgiving, and
Yes.
he will be back again. He will return in the summer with Rainy, hopefully, so I can give Rainy a big old fat smoochie. But I'm kind of running out of things to talk about how we met, so let's just move on.
uh, nah, but like fucking that. Seeing you guys in Florida, that's probably like one of the highlights of my like entire life.
Yeah, cause like it's like what it reminds me of is remember when I don't know if you ever saw it, but there was like this thing, and it's like, oh, these four guys who became friends over Xbox like came
Or
into
they visit that guy in the hospital or some shit.
I don't know if they visited in the hospital. Or they just like met online and like or in real life and were like, "Yo, what up?" or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, and I remember that, and I was like, "That's basically what this is." But like, we don't get the publicity because we're a bunch of teenagers, and the world doesn't care about us
Oh yeah, on jaw.
on fucking jaw. But
But it's important to me. It's gonna be like something I remember forever.
yeah, yeah, something important to me too. Important to all of us, really. And I'm pretty sure one of my most vivid memories I'm gonna be telling my fucking children when I'm like, or my grandchildren when I'm like 70. I'm gonna be like, oh, I remember the time I was playing Manhunt and I fell in the pool. We were fucking playing Manhunt, and I remember it was like I think it was you chasing me. And
Yeah.
I fucking hopped the fence, and I was sitting there, and I thought the pool, cause the way was lit, dude. I'm fucking dead ass. The way was lit. I was sitting there and I'm like, oh, that's a fucking floor. And I'm like, time to put my foot on it. And my foot's like suspended in there, and I'm like, that is not a fucking floor. And I just
It's like when
fucking
you're going up. It's like when you're climbing stairs, right? And then like you think there's another step at the top of the flight, and you just go ooh, fucking.
and fucking and I was like, and dude, it was like what, like 60 degrees outside, and the water was probably like a solid 50, and I just fell in it. Thank God I put all my stuff down, and like I was in a hoodie, cause
If
like
you have the 11 though, so you would have been all right.
yeah, I know, but like my keys and stuff would not, or my fucking wallet and all the money in it would not have been okay. And that was like
Actually, it would have been okay because money is made of fiber, so it wouldn't just crumble up like paper.
Eee. Actually, fucking hate those
Actually, African fact checkers just hit you up.
niggas. um, but yeah, one of the main things that tightened me and Lee's bond was recently that we both got into a Star Wars. I fucking and I'm glad, like you said earlier, and I'm glad that like we started appreciating it now because like if we were one of those fucking fags that were like, no offense to anybody out there, I'm about to sound like an extreme dickhead, but no offense. One of those fucking guys that were like grew up watching Star Wars and like, oh, I wanna fucking marry Princess Leia and smell her feet because her fucking feet probably smell like balls. Like fucking, I'm glad we're not like that. We could just like appreciate it
Yeah,
for.
dude. Like seriously, like I remember when I was like a kid, like fucking like liking Star Wars was so like out of the ordinary. Even like in the early like 2000s, that shit
Yeah.
was like hella boof. Like you'd get fucking bullied. You're like, what the fuck? You like Star Wars?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, are you like a nerd? You fucking loser.
Now it's like fucking you get bullied for not liking Star Wars. You're like, you don't like Star Wars? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, oh wow, you're so like so uncultured. Wow, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Hee hee hee. I can't wait to fucking put your face in a locker. Um,
Time to bully you because I was bullied as a child. And then they're like stinky fat neckbeards,
yeah.
fucking Cheetos all up in their nose and stuff.
But yeah, I really, like now I'm looking back on it. Like I watched all the Star Wars and all the Star Wars shows, and I really like they were fucking gas. Like I never really appreciated them, but now that like I'm older and I actually can appreciate them, they were fucking amazing. Like fucking
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Oh my god, that show go dumb.
Bro, I'm watching the shit out of that, bro.
Yeah, I know. Fucking now that I don't have my Xbox, I'm currently living in straight up Amish territory. Fucking the Star Wars: The Clone
Just,
Wars has fucking saved me from certain fucking suicide.
I know, it's so good. I just watched the episode with the Zillow Beast. That shit's fucking dope.
Oh, is it? I forgot you were on my Disney Plus because I'm like, who the fuck is watching all these damn shows? And then I'm like, oh wait, fucking Lee's on that shit. But
Yeah.
but ooh, no. But you know what shows fucking slaps now that they made is that Mandalorian show. Ooh my god,
Oh, God.
dude, that
Cream. I
show.
just creamed a little bit just from you saying that.
Dude, that show like it was created by John Favreau, right? The fucking nigga that plays Happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a director for like some of those Marvel movies.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that he's actually a character in the Clone Wars. I forgot what character he is, but he plays a character, and I was like, I didn't even know he was that in
Like in the movies or in like the show, the TV show.
the show, the Clone Wars. He's a character. Cause I was
For real?
looking at the cast trying to find out if Ewan McGregor voiced Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he doesn't. Um, but yeah, and I remember seeing him there, and I apparently he's like a really big Star Wars fan, and I didn't know that. And but like he
Who
was
does he voice? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure I can just look up fucking Star Wars Clone Wars shit. But but yeah, he apparently he's like a really big Star Wars fan. He kind of just popped off on the fucking Mandalorian. He plays. Oh yeah, here it is. He plays a person called Visla. Visla.
Previously.
Oh, Mark Hamill
Uh,
plays a guy named Darth Bane. That's nice.
Darth Bane. Oh yeah, I know Darth Bane. He's like the he's the guy with the with the yellow and black face, isn't he?
I don't fucking know. I haven't gotten that
He's like
far.
Darth Maul's brother.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. But
But Pre Vista, I feel like that name is really familiar. I feel like I've heard it like a couple times.
um, but yeah, that show, The Mandalorian, is really good. I recommend it so much. I can't wait for the second season, but sadly, it's coming out fucking
Uh,
November of
November.
2020, and that's so far away. Oh, I'm so sad.
Mm. I saw like a little news article. And it was, like everyone's like unsubscribing to Disney Plus since The Mandalorian is
Yeah.
over now. Fucking
And did you know that I read recently that like apparently Disney lost like fucking million, like 27 point something $1 million because they didn't have any Baby Yoda fucking toys or action figures like on demand. And I was like,
what, for like Christmas or some shit.
yeah, 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 for the holidays, and like they lost like a shit ton of money because of that.
They made some like shitty ass merch. Like they literally took like a screenshot from the show and just like
Yeah.
plastered it all over like cups and like
Yeah,
shirts and stuff.
yeah.
It's actually horrendous, dude. That
And
merch is absolute
dude, the
garbage.
toys that they made recently, I don't know if you've seen them. It looks so bad. It looks like it was like fucking hand painted on by like a fucking Chinese child getting paid 2 cents of fucking every
A
three
year.
hours. Fucking creating it, and but it just looks so bad. And like
Yeah, like
apparently,
they're like trying to pick up the pieces with like Baby Yoda merch and stuff. Like they really fucked up. They did not expect like Bartholomew. That's what we call him, Bartholomew. They didn't expect Bartholomew to be such a fucking slam dunk.
yeah.
And then he came onto the scene and everyone was like, "Oh, I love him."
Apparently, like they're kind of mad at John Favreau because of it, because like he didn't tell them that Baby Yoda was a thing until like he was revealed in um what episode was it, the first one or second one, whatever episode he was
First
revealed in.
one, I think.
Yeah, they didn't he didn't tell him that like Baby Yoda was a thing until like the fucking episode aired, and then Disney was just like, they were like, "Oh, it's just a thing. Nobody's gonna care." And then the fucking internet blew up, and then they were like, "Oh shit, we can make some bank." But
It's
then
because like
they didn't.
he wanted it to be that big surprise. I'm sure because like if he would have like told it to like Disney execs or some shit, it would have somehow leaked and everyone would know like that major like fucking plot point MacGuffin or whatever fucking was in the show. They're like, oh, spoiler time. Because you know how he was with like Endgame. People were like spoiling the shit out of that.
Yeah. And I remember, dude, like seeing that reveal was like actually pretty cool. Like, cause like so many theories came out and stuff that like he was like a clone of Yoda and like a bunch of other things. But I thought it was pretty cool. Um, Speaking of Star Wars, also the new Star Wars movie. I know you haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna try to spoil anything for you.
You already slapped me with that spoiler like the other day,
Oh
bro.
yeah, I didn't mean to. We were playing fucking Battlefront, and the stupid fucking Kylo Ren, the angsty fucking teenager, killed me, and I got angry, and I let loose a couple of things that shouldn't have been let loose in front of my dear friend Lee, who has not
It
seen
would
it.
have happened anyway because I was actually watching a video and the guy was like, "Oh, blah blah blah, fucking Kylo Ren's passing." I'm like, thank you."
But nah, have you heard anything else about it? Cause like I'm gonna talk
Nah,
about it, but I don't want to spoil anything. Okay. Um, I'm gonna overall like a lot of it. If you look on Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 55%. And honestly,
oof.
I don't think it's not. I don't think it deserved a 55%. I think it deserved maybe like 65, maybe if we're being generous, a 70. Because in all honesty, it wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was. Cause the I'm not gonna lie, the fucking dialogue was pretty fucking bad. Like the jokes were like, "Oh, they fly now? Of course they fly now. Oh yeah, of course they fly now." And that was fucking it, and that was the joke. And you're just like, "What?"
Ja 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 ja.
And fucking and like you were expected to laugh, but like you didn't because it just wasn't funny. Um but like yeah, some of the dialogue was kind of cheesy, but like the last hour or like 45 minutes, honestly, I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking cool. And like considering it's the end of like the Skywalker trilogy or like the Skywalker like saga kind of like anything that has to
Hmm.
do related with like the main cast of Star Wars. I thought it was pretty fucking cool. And what's it called? But like yeah, it's kind of like it's action right from the beginning, but like you're confused as to where the plot's going. It's like, "Oh, Ray, you're important." And then she's like, "Oh, okay." And then
You can
she's
spoil it. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
all right.
Like,
All right. So cuz like the first fucking like hour and 30 minutes or hour and 40 fucking minutes, it's alluding to the fact that Rey is Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter. Cause like fucking like in the first 10 minutes, Kylo Ren's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna murder fucking entire civilization and take this Sith tracker thing to this Sith world Exegol, which we've heard nothing about at all. But now you're expected to know that that's a Sith planet." And then you're just like, "What?" And then he just goes into the thing, and he goes into this fucking rock-shaped area, and then he goes down the thing, and then you see fucking. It's like, "Oh, I've been expecting you, Kylo Ren." And then Kylo Ren's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, "I am everything you've heard. Darth Vader in your head, and Emperor Snoke was all just a clone. I am the true master." And it's fucking Emperor Palpatine, who looks like a fucking 92-year-old hooked up to fucking life support, who looks like he craps his diapers every fucking 3 seconds.
wait, so he's still alive?
Yeah.
Damn. The fuck?
And he looks like a decrepit old man. Like he has fucking cataracts in his finger. Like he's literally missing like part of his finger, and like he's like he can't even walk on his own. He's just being like hung up by his shoulders to like this giant
How?
fucking like crane looking machine that just carries him around everywhere.
Like he was old before. Like he was old during like the reign of the Empire. So like seeing like Han, Leia, and Luke get like fucking all wrinkly and shit, he has to be like over like 130, maybe even 40.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know the
it kind
exact
of makes
number.
sense to be honest, because if you look at it like Yoda, I don't know if it's based on a species or like through the power of the Force, but like he.
Nah, it's definitely because Yoda's species. Remember, Bartholomew? He's like
Oh yeah
50
yeah
years
yeah
old. Remember?
yeah yeah. But
And Emperor Palpatine's just like a normal human, I'm pretty sure. But he does have the Force. He's really strong with the Force, like the dark side at least.
yeah, I think he was using like the fucking a combination of the life support and like the Force to like keep himself alive or whatever.
Yeah, that's like probably the only way he's been alive that long.
But yeah, and then he's like, "Kylo, you must kill the girl." And Kylo's like, "What if I just kill you and take over?" Because he gets there, and then Emperor Palpatine's like, "Oh, look at you know how we had an entire fucking moon-sized thing that could destroy a singular planet in a fucking one blast, and then we went to like a fucking planet that could kill four planets in a single blast. Now we got
Hmm.
star destroyers that could fucking kill one planet by themselves, and we have about like fucking 2 million of them." And he just fucking makes them rise from the fucking ashes, and you're just like, so now it goes from a star destroyer to a fucking planet to just a star destroyer, or not a star destroyer, a fucking. Or is that what the ship's called? Star destroyer?
Okay, fine now.
Oh, the Death Star is the first one. I'm fucking retarded. The Death Star. But yeah, now Star Destroyers have this power, and then Kylo Ren's like, "What if I just kill you and just take over the thing anyways?" And he's just like, "No, you won't." And he's like, "Okay, I won't. I'll go kill the girl for you." And then he gets to fucking Rey, and then Rey's like, "Oh, I don't want to be bad." And he's like, "Well, you will be bad with me, and then we'll go kill the Emperor." And I'm like, "Why didn't you just fucking kill him from the start and just try to convince Rey? You'd have an easier fucking time." And so the whole movie is him like chasing Rey as she tries to find one of the fucking Sith tracker things to go kill Emperor Palpatine, and then her like slowly learning who she is, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm bad, but no, I want to be good, but in reality I'm bad, but now I'm good." And then eventually they go to like this planet that like is the wreck where the wreck of like the first Death Star is, because there's like a Sith
Cool.
tracker on there, and she's like in the thing, and she's by the place where Emperor Palpatine's at, like the chair, and like this door opens and she gets the tracker and she's like awesome, and then she sees like she has like a vision, she sees like a evil version of herself where she's wielding this like the lightsaber she wields where she like sees the evil version of herself is pretty fucking cool. It's like two lightsabers that look like nunchucks basically, and she holds them closed and then she lights them and then she like flips it around and turns into like a double lightsaber. um
Oh, I think you know like the bow staff that like turns into like a chain almost.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Have you seen that?
kind of like that.
Ooh, that's
but
pretty neat, I guess.
but yeah, and then she goes and she's like, "Yeah, I'm bad, and I'm ready to take some ass and kick some names." And fucking, and then
Kind of the turntables.
Kylo Ren shows up and he's like, "Oh, give me the tracker." And then she's like, "No," and then he just takes it from her and then breaks it. And then she's like, she gets angry and she starts like fighting him. She starts like beating the shit out of him. And then they're like fighting on like it because it's on like this ocean planet, so they're like the edge of the wreck is like hanging over the ocean, and so they're getting sprayed with water and shit, and then fucking eventually like
Wet T-shirt contest.
it's basically that, and
I want to see Kylo's big chest.
I saw that recently in the fucking and I was watching The Last Jedi, and then I saw that scene, and I was just like, look at him, the fucking Kylo. But but yeah,
The
and
unit.
and then in the middle of their fight, Leia just like feels a disturbance in the Force, and she gets up and she's just like, I know what I have to do. And then she like goes and she like lays down, and then she like gives her life force to turn Kylo Ren to the good side, and then she fucking dies. And then like he's distracted for a moment, and Rey like stabs him in the like stomach, and then he's like dying, and then she's like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And she just heals him, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm all better now." And then she just like takes his fucking no, she takes her lightsaber and she like pieces out on the ship, and then Kylo Ren's like sitting there by himself, and then he like looks behind him, and like Han Solo's there, and he's like, "Kylo, you know what you gotta do." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right." And he just
Wait,
fucking
was Han a Force ghost?
yeah, I don't think he was a Force ghost. I think it was like just a vision, like created by Leia, because like Leia like uses her life force to like save him, and like because she goes and she's like, I know what I must do, and then she's like, the effort of it will like kill me or something like that. But but yeah, like Han Solo appears to him, and then he's just like, oh, okay, and he just fucking launches his lightsaber into the ocean, and then that's it. The scene ends, and then this is where it starts getting good. After that scene is where it finally starts getting good, and you see Rey, and she's on that island from The Last Jedi where she finds Luke, and
Hmm.
she takes like the X-wing, she's like fucking burning it, and like she's angry and throwing shit into it, and she takes the lightsaber, and like, cause like at the beginning of the movie, she's trying to get the Force Ghost to speak to her, but they're not, and then she in this scene she's angry, so she like takes the lightsaber and is getting ready to chuck it into the fire to like destroy it, and so she chucks it in there, and then like fucking Luke catches it as a Force Ghost and like walks out, and he's like, you should treat this with more respect, kiddo. Then she's like, oh my God, it's Luke Skywalker. And so they like have a
Long
talk,
skull.
and he's like, listen, it's not about who you are, it's about what's in your heart. She's like, oh yeah, you're right. And then she goes, and then he's like, look, I want to show you something. And then he takes her to this cave, and then fucking, he's like, this is her lightsaber, and she would want you to have it. And then she's like, oh, wow.
Fucking who?
And then you're shown this clip of fucking Luke training, and then they're like, it's like with this girl, and then she has like this visor thing on, and then like she like beats Luke up, and she like kicks him to the ground, and then they like take off their visors, and it's like Leia, because she was apparently trying to be a Jedi, but then she like stopped because she didn't want to like do it anymore or something like that, because she knew it was like Luke's destiny to be lights Jedi, and
So basically, girl power. Girls are better than guys.
yeah,
They can defeat any guy no matter what.
yeah, so
That's fucking whack.
so yeah, so she's just like, um here's Leia's lightsaber, so use it to go beat up Emperor Palpatine. And then she's like, okay. And then she goes to Exegol.
What color is her lightsaber?
It's blue. So
Whack.
she's got
Why can't they do anything iconic, bro? Gonna end
in
it
the
on.
cutscene where like Luke's trying with her, you see Luke's green lightsaber, but for some reason Leia doesn't get it. But but yeah, and then Luke's like, oh, let me fucking force lift my old X-wing out of the wreckage, and then she's like, oh, cool. Now I can go beat up Emperor Palpatine in style. And then she's like, well, wait, I don't know how to get to Exegol. And so Luke's like, oh, I think you do. And then like the Sith trackers and like the fucking thing in the ship already hooked up and stuff. And so she goes to it, and then she goes to meet Emperor Palpatine, and then like I'm gonna skip through this. There's like a bunch of dialogue of like the rebels trying to figure out how to attack Exegol, and they're like, "We can do it, guys. We don't need the help from anybody," because like they keep sending out messages for help, but nobody's responding because everybody's scared. Because Emperor Palpatine like broadcasts, he's like, "I am back, and I've got the whole fleet of Star Destroyers that can fuck up your whole planet." And so what's it called? So nobody's like coming to help, and then Ray is like going to face Emperor Palpatine down, and then he's like, Ray, I've been expecting you. And he's like, I sent Kylo to kill you, but in all honesty, I just wanted you here. And she's like, what? And then he's like,
No need.
and then they like fucking. She goes to this giant like throne, and like she's surrounded by like a bunch of like Sith like cult people. They're not like Sith lords, but they're just like cult people kind of. And they're like sitting there like chanting, and it's like fucking like the whole planet is supposed to be like lightning and shit, and like it's like light is like a constant storm, and like so the only light that you see fucking Emperor Palpatine in is when the lightning strikes, and it's honestly kind of annoying. And so what's it called? And so he's like, you came here to kill me, right? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, if you strike me down and kill me, I am the embodiment of all Sith, and so all the Sith Lord's souls will go into you, corrupting you and making you the most powerful Empress ever. And he's like, so like that's his whole plan is to get her to kill him, so that way, like she can become the Empress and like shit on everybody. And she's like, all right, I'll do it. And then fucking, this is where it goes back to like the rebels trying to like attack Exegol, and they finally manage to do it, and they get into Exegol, and they're like, it's like a couple ships against all the Star Destroyers, and like they do pretty good at first. They like start beating them up and whatnot, start like knocking down some ships and stuff, and like this is where it kind of gets cheesy because they're like trying to find the lead Star Destroyer because they all look the same. So lead one is the one that like gives them a tracker to get out of Exegol because like there's a certain way to get in and out, and
Mm-hmm.
so they have to go and they have to like destroy that Star Destroyer, but they don't know which one it is. And then Finn uses like force sensitiveness, and he's just like, "It's that one." And they're like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "I got a feeling," and they just go based on that. And I'm like, "Wow." I'm like, this could have been a severe L if fucking Finn guessed wrong. But but yeah, so Kylo comes back, and this time he's not in his like outfit. He's just like in a long sleeve shirt and like pants and shit, and he like comes back unarmed. And then the Knights of Ren come at him and like try to kill him. And he like um this is where you know that thing I was telling you about, where they have that thing where like they communicate with each other through the Force, and like they can
Mm-hmm.
see each other. He like does that, and like she's like, "Oh my God, Kylo, you're here! I can't believe it!" And then what's it called? And then they like stare at each other, and then she's like, "Here, take my lightsaber through the Force." And he's like, "Okay." And then he shits on the Knights of fucking Ren, and he comes in to like help her. And like Emperor Palpatine's like, "You know what? I've had a fucking enough of this. I'm just gonna steal your life force, and then become powerful on my own again and shit on everybody." And so he steals their like life force and shit, but they're like not really dead. And this scene, right, like when you see it, it's actually pretty cool. I can't describe it as well as it was shown, but he's like, now that I have the power. And his eyes are like glowing yellow like the Sith and shit, and his fingers are all fixed, and he looks like the real Emperor Palpatine. And he goes and he's like, he does the fucking electrocute thing like in fucking Revenge of the Sith, where he's like
Man,
power.
that means Zappy.
Yeah, but dude, he like sends it into the sky, and it's like fucking like a kamehameha of fucking lightning, and it just zaps like every rebel ship like an EMP, send them down, and he's just like fucking straight up blasting the whole thing, and it's like fucking crazy. And then this scene gets even better because Rey's like sitting there, and then she hears all the voices of all the Jedi, like Mace Windu, Anakin, Ahsoka, Yoda,
Oh
Obi Wan.
damn, that just confirms that Mace Windu died on Coruscant.
Yeah,
Rip.
and like you hear like all the Jedi and stuff, like Plo Koon and all that cool shit, and they're all like, "You can do it, Rey." And you fucking hear Yoda, he's like, "Rey, get up, you must." And then fucking, and then you hear
Rise you must.
yeah, yeah, and you hear Luke in like the last one. He's like, Ray, use the Force, Ray, or some shit like that. And then she gets up and she like fucking.
Wait, was Anakin Skywalker there?
I was trying to find him, but like his voice is so like white. It's like so just not recognizable that I just couldn't identify it. I'm sure if you watch it again when it comes, like when they like finally start releasing like the HD clips of it and stuff, like you can pick it out. But
Wait, so it was only voices, or was it like
no,
you could see
no.
the ghost?
Yeah, it's only voices. I wish you could see your ghost. That would have been so much cooler if they showed like
Bruh,
Anakin's
imagine if
Force
they just
ghost.
like do you remember in Avatar: The Last Airbender when he sees all the avatars like lined up like that?
Yeah.
Bruh, what if it was like that with all the like ghost
That's what I
Jedi's?
was
That'd be so
thinking,
sick.
dude. I was like, dude, if they showed the Force ghosts of like all the cool Jedi and shit, I would have been like, that's so fi. But but yeah, so they go, and then he's like, Ray, use the Force or whatever, and then she's like, okay. And then she gets up and she like uses her lightsaber, and Emperor Palpatine starts zapping her, but she like does a Mace Windu thing where she like catches it with her lightsaber or whatever, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm not strong enough." And then she pulls out Leia's lightsaber and dual wields, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then she like dual wields in like the X kind of thing, and then she gets closer to him,
Mhm.
and like the force from his own lightning like fucking melts his skin.
Again.
Yeah, yeah, and fucking kills him. And then what's it called? And then he like literally gets evaporated down to like the fucking last sound. Like he pulls a Thanos and he's like fucking gone, reduced to atoms.
No.
And then like before that, like Kylo gets up before Rey, like before that, and like he tries to charge him, and then fucking um, and then fuck what? Oh yeah, Palpatine like picks him up, like force pushes him into like this hole. He's like, "Let this be the final word in the Skywalker saga," or something like that. And then he's like, "You think he's dead?" And then he comes back after like Rey, like, cause like Rey collapses after she beats up the Emperor. And then he's like, Ray, time to use the force healing thing that you used on me. And he brings her back to life. And then they kiss. And then he like fucking becomes one with the force and then just dies. And then,
What the fuck?
but there's this really cool scene, like right after the Jedi tell Ray to get up or whatever, and like Poe's like, "Oh, we're losing too many resistance, rebel fucking ships. We're not gonna win." And then Lando Calrissian's like, "Hey, kid, why don't you take a look around?" And then, dude, like I shit you not, he like looks up and there's like fucking 2,000 ships, and they're just like fucking hello, time to get shit on. And then he
Was
made,
bracken, bruh.
yeah,
How
literally
you
like
living?
was bracken, bro, and fucking and so they like come out and there's just like time to fucking play, and they just start demolishing the ships. And then what's it called? And then so yeah, Kylo Ren uses the force healing to like bring her back to life. Then he becomes one with the force, and then everybody's like, "Yay, day saved!" And they all go back to the rebel base. And then that's where you see the fucking. It's not even the kiss between the two, like the gay kiss or whatever between the two girls, isn't even like two main characters. It's just two side characters, and they just kissed, and it's shown on screen for like 2 seconds. But like in this day and age, people just cry about anything, so they're like, "Weh, gay kissing when it didn't represent me enough or some shit like that. And I was like,
Wow, only 2 seconds to represent the gay community in a Star Wars movie? What the fuck?
yeah, for real. But yeah, and so they're sitting there, and then Rey goes back to Tatooine, and then she takes Luke and Leia's lightsabers, and then she like puts them in this cloth, and she buries them like right outside where Luke was found on Tatooine, and then like you see Leia and Luke's Force ghosts, and they're like, "Hello," and then she's like, "Oh, I finally put everyone at peace." And then she goes and she like takes out a lightsaber and she lights it. It's a yellow lightsaber, and then the movie ends.
Yellow lightsaber. I forgot what that represents. Isn't that like when people are neutral with the Force or some shit?
I think so. I don't know if yeah, I think that's yellow. But
Hmm.
but yeah, it was a cool scene, and then the movie ends. And overall, I was like, it wasn't terrible. Like I've seen worse movies, but like it definitely wasn't like the best Star Wars
You
movie.
know, yeah, it's probably because it just doesn't have like that like story that like the other Star Wars movies have.
Yeah,
It's
like
just like the plot is kind of like fucking all over. It's what it seems like.
it feels like
Just like they're pulling stuff out of their
yeah,
ass.
yeah, yeah. It feels like they're trying to like continue the saga by like trying to just pull things out of air. They're like, okay, how can we continue this? Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter now, and you're just like, what?
So how did she even end up on Jakku? Like her
Oh
fucking
yeah, yeah,
parents?
yeah. Her parents. So like, she was Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter, and like her
Yeah,
parents. I don't know what that like. It didn't really explain it well. It's just like, you're Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter, and then her parents were like captured by the Empire because it was during the days of the Empire that she was abandoned there, and so like there was this mercenary, and like he was a Empire like sympathizer or whatever, so that he like captured them, and then he's like, he kills her parents, and he's just like, time to abandon you on Jakku, and then that's like literally it. That's the only explanation you get.
wait, so an Empire sympathizer abandons the granddaughter of his fucking emperor?
No, her parents were like with her, and then the Empire sympathizer, it's like a mercenary, like captured her, and then what's it called? And then like killed her parents on his ship, and then like left her on Jakku with the guy that that you see in the Force Awakens.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb, but
Like if he's like a fucking guy who likes the Empire, it would make sense to like fucking build up this relative of the Emperor, because like that's technically like the rightful heir to the throne for like the Empire.
yeah,
Instead of just fucking ditching her, screwing like your entire shit up. What a fucking idiot!
but yeah, but it is some plot points just like it seemed like they were just like trying to carry it
Like
out when
like
it's
who fucking greenlights that fucking story, bro? That shit is so ass.
yeah, like fucking George Lucas, like apparently didn't even want episode 7, 8, and 9. He just wanted it to end after New Hope.
I'd be happy with that. Like they should have just like started doing like a new fucking like lineage at that point.
You
And
know,
I really don't like how powerful Ray is right off the rip, bro. That shit really irks me. Like
what
Luke is
is
supposed to be the most powerful Jedi of all time. Then you said that Leia apparently whooped his ass, and that's like after like peak Luke Skywalker. Like that makes zero sense
it
whatsoever.
was like it wasn't like it was like a fucking like a 10-second clip, and it was like obviously CGI because they're both old as fuck now. But it's like Luke and they were like training or something. Like it didn't specify when and where, but it was like they were training, and then they had this like mask on that like you couldn't see anything out of, and they were supposed to use their like force sense or whatever to like find out where they were, and they're like running through this forest, and then they're like fighting and stuff, like sparring, and then Leia like kicks him to the ground, and then she's like takes off her mask, and like that's basically the end of the clip.
Still stupid because Luke is supposed to be the strongest with the Force ever.
Yeah, and then what I didn't like is the whole through episode 7, 8, and 9, especially in episode 8 and the Last Jedi, they like say that like, oh yeah, Kylo Ren, like his raw power, like he was so strong and like so in tune with the dark, and I was scared of it. But like he doesn't do anything that's like super like that demonstrates that he's strong. He's just like,
Yeah, like he's supposed to be powerful. Like apparently it's canon that he literally killed the Zillo Beast by himself.
yeah.
Apparently,
I saw that. I saw that video. Like Darth
like
Vader failed to kill the Zillo Beast, but he fucking killed it. But like
yeah,
you don't see any of that power in the movie. He's just like a fucking whiny bitch in the movie.
yeah, like and then on top of that, so like, I've said this to you before. Like you have Kylo Ren who's been training his whole life in the ways of like the Force and shit, and trained by like apparently like fucking a super powerful Force user, Emperor Snoke, and then a Supreme Leader Snoke, and then you have Rey that just like fucking just exists and then kicks his ass.
Yeah, that's
Like what
another
the fuck?
thing. She like
Even if
uses
he was
the
like injured
lightsaber.
from a blaster, even if he was injured from a blaster in like the Force Awakens or whatever, he still like has years and years of training and is supposed to be super in tune with the Force. Like
Yeah.
that should compensate like fully for like his disadvantage of being shot
That
by a blaster.
Yeah, that really like highlights because the in the Last Jedi or yeah the Last Jedi or whatever at the beginning of the thing like you can see Emperor Snoke get fucking pissed that Kylo Ren got his ass whooped by a girl that's never fucking held a lightsaber in her life, and it makes sense because he's a fucking top-notch student who's supposed to be stupid powerful, but he got his fucking ass whooped by a girl who doesn't even know what the fucking Force is.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's like some shit that like, so like you have like the original trilogy where Luke is like you can tell he's talented, but he's like training like all the time to get fucking better and
Yeah,
like be able to defeat Darth Vader. And he loses his hand and loses the battle like once, and
yeah,
then he comes back after training some more with Yoder, and then he comes and beats him finally. Or he doesn't beat him, he turns him over to the light side. And
yeah.
like that's how you like develop a character, like to show how powerful they become. You don't just fucking like instantly say powerful. See, this is powerful because we say so.
One thing that really pissed me off was that so in the Last Jedi, Rey's like, "Can you teach me, Luke Skywalker?" And then he's like, "I'll give you 3 lessons." And like they're not even lessons. It's just like fucking plot development, and she doesn't learn anything from them. And then she's like, "Okay, now I can go take on Kylo Ren and the fucking whole First Order by myself." And she goes
Yeah,
and
like the fucking elite of the empire. He
yeah,
she just decides like what the fuck.
she has like one montage where she's like using her stupid staff and like trying to like hit a rock, and then she's like, "Oh, let me see what happens if I use the lightsaber." And then she like fucking cleaves the rock in half because it's a fucking lightsaber. She's like, "Whoa,
Exactly.
now I can."
Not even a hard feat to accomplish. Literally just
Yeah.
fucking doing what lightsabers do. They just cut everything.
And then she goes and then she's like, she fucking goes, tries to face down Emperor Snoke with no force training, and she automatically knows how to fucking summon a lightsaber to her hand when Luke Skywalker, who fucking actually received training, barely knew how to even do that in A New Hope. He like fucking, when he was upside down, he could barely summon it, and she's just like, okay, I'm just gonna summon a lightsaber from a fucking across the room straight to my hand. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, you can't do any of these force abilities. And then like at the end of the movie, like the exit from like the cave that Finn is trying to get out of is like barred by rocks, and she just knows how to fucking levitate the rocks already. She she didn't learn that from anybody. She's just like, oh, I know how to do it.
It's like there's only so much you can like like chalk up to natural talent. Like she needs like proper training.
Yeah, and
Like I just feel like the plot for like this new trilogy or whatever the fuck you're gonna call it, or they call it the sequel trilogy, it's just so rushed. I feel like it's like
yeah.
almost no thought put into like the intricacies of like how to develop these like super powerful characters. Like they just make them OP just for the fuck of it.
You know what they did was like fucking J.J. Abrams was being yelled at to like make fucking something cool out of Star Wars again because the Star Wars nerds were like, I haven't seen Leia in forever, and my dick can only get fucking hard to so much Leia fucking porn.
I want to see old Leia, her wrinkles. I want to see her force wrinkles.
And then fucking J.J. Abrams was like, here, let me just try to whip up something quick, and then they were like, "Oh, let's set it up for a second one. Now let's set it up for a third one, and then the third one will be the end." And you're just like, "Why?"
Literally, they could have taken like fucking 4 years to make one of these Star Wars movies, but just make it like fucking good instead of just like hashing it together like
Yeah.
every fucking like two instead.
And then what's it called? And one of the things that I didn't understand was that in the Last Jedi, when they're in the throne room or whatever, and they kill Snoke, fucking like Rey just faces down these elite guards who've had like fucking so much training, and like that's literally all they know how to do is fight, and like she just faces them down with no lightsaber training whatsoever and fucking shits on all of them, and I'm like, them.
Does she even have a form of lightsaber combat, or does she just fucking swing it around and kill everyone?
She like it looks like she has a form, but like for the most part, you don't know what form it is. She's just like, yeah, I'm just swinging this bitch around, hoping it fucking kills
She,
someone.
she literally hasn't had any training. That's the frustrating part, bro. Like she doesn't even really have a lightsaber form, and if she does, it's probably like fucking some new form she just learned from J.J. Abrams. And J.J. Abrams was like, fuck it, I mean, new one, why not?
Yeah, but
Ugh,
but yeah,
super gay. So wait, what was that thing you said about George Lucas? He didn't even want to go see it.
yeah. I saw. I didn't read into it too much, but I saw something, and it was like apparently he didn't even want like episode 7, 8, and 9 to even happen. Because like it makes sense because like the fucking
They don't
series should have ended
they
with
don't
just
listen to him. The directors of these movies do not fucking listen to him or like take any like material from him. Like they don't use any of the source material. They just fucking make stuff up.
uh,
It's not even good stuff.
yeah. Well, apparently, what's it called? Ewan McGregor was on like an interview, and like they were saying like, oh, is there gonna be a new Obi-Wan movie? Or like, oh no, he was at a panel also, and like this lady was like, oh, I don't want to take the words out of my mouth. So here's Ewan McGregor to tell you about Obi-Wan, and Ewan McGregor's like, Obi-Wan will be coming back. And I'm like, dude, if he gets his own movie spin-off or like his own fucking like show or something, I'd be like, that would be so cool. Cause Obi Wan is like one of my favorite fucking Jedi.
Yeah, in the Clone Wars, I fucking love Obi-Wan. He's so cool. He's like so refined and like fucking
Yeah,
classy. And then he like shits on people. And I love his lightsaber form. He's like got a defensive form. So that shit's pretty dope.
yeah. Um, fuck. What else was I gonna say? There was something else about Star Wars I was gonna say. It was like something about a show. If I remember, I'll fucking mention it. But but yeah. So Ewan McGregor might be getting his own spin-off. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I think, in my opinion, the most recent Star Wars movies that have been the best, in my opinion, are Rogue One. I think that movie was amazing, and it
Which
was
movie?
Rogue One.
Oh yeah, I think I caught like the tail end of that one time. I never really watched it.
If you fucking get a chance, I would really recommend watching it. It's not even about any of the main characters.
Yeah.
It's about how like they got the plans for the Death Star to destroy it, and it's fucking the sad part is that it's way better than fucking all three of the movies that include all of the cool main characters from fucking Star Wars. Cause like fucking you got um Jane Urso or something like that. I forgot his fucking her name, and like her father like develops the Death Star because this nigga um like recruits him because he used to work with the Empire, but then he left, and so he comes back to like take him by force, and he's like, they're either gonna do it without me or they're gonna kill me. So, and for my own survival, I'll help them create the Death Star. But then he's like, but I put a flaw in it so that way, so small that nobody can detect it unless they like see the plans. And then the whole movie is them going to this planet to like fucking get the plans from them and like send it out, and it's just really cool because like she's like a like an outlaw kind of, and then she joins the
Mhm.
rebels. But like the cool part is that like it's not a happy ending. Like they all die. Like everyone in the group, the main characters,
Yeah.
they all die. But that's the what makes it good because it's not a happy ending. It's like this is what it actually was like in Star
Like
Wars.
their sacrifice, like you see it.
Yeah, and then you get this
It's really
fucking
great idea.
dope ass scene with Darth Vader at the end where he just shits on all the rebels and as they like receive the message and are trying to send it away, and then it ends with like the rebel giving it to Leia, and then she's like, "Oh, this is hope," and then it's like, and then you're supposed to watch A New Hope after that, and then what's it called? And that's like where it picks up. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite movies, Star Wars
For
movies.
sure.
Mm. But anyways, we're slowly running out of time here. So the last thing I'm gonna discuss is let's talk about how about what's going on with fucking Iran. Do you honestly believe there's gonna be a World War III?
Honestly, I highly doubt that because like Iran is like their government is like they have so many like terrorists like sympathizers and supporters like
Yeah,
any like country that supports Iran is literally supporting terrorism.
and
It just doesn't make any sense. And apparently everybody's like all peace, 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 except for like those Middle Eastern countries, which kind of seems insensitive, but it's true. Like they're like radical, bro.
honestly, like um, they said that they're gonna retaliate like harshly, but I don't think it's definitely not gonna be a world war, okay? Because fucking, I think every country knows based off of two fucking mistakes because of Germany, they're not gonna be like, oh, you know what? Let's do that again. Let's just lose fucking countless lives and fucking trillions of dollars just because some guy died. It's definitely not gonna be like
Yeah,
that.
and it's not even like a good person whatsoever. He's literally a fucking like terrorist.
Yeah, and they're yeah, like if anything, it's gonna be a scuffle between U.S. and Iran. It's not gonna be a full out fucking war draft needed, because one thing
Does
that
Iran even have any like allies? It's probably like other like Middle Eastern countries that like Afghanistan and Iraq probably support Iran.
yeah, but even then, like the U.S. military is just too OP. Like when you get down to it, the fucking U.S. military will literally shit on Iran. They would fucking give
And
a fat, steamy fucking dookie right on the fucking Iran stupid
and
forehead.
the United States already has like installations like in every fucking country in the world.
Yeah, and there's no need for a draft. We already have fucking thousands of troops, and most wars today are just fought through drones that like just bomb each other.
Yeah, like, and if it does result in like a world war, which is like the most minuscule fucking possibility imaginable, like that's like fucking, it's just gonna literally kill everybody on the planet because weapons nowadays are so advanced. Like,
Yeah,
there's no like traditional combat.
fucking Iran has like I don't even. I think they only have like one nuke, and they're not gonna fucking use it to bomb like one city in America, only to get fucking Hiroshima'd by fucking America and
Not
literally shit
even
on.
President Trump will not take that shit. He'll literally wipe fucking Iran off the map.
Yeah, for real. He'd be like,
Like,
he'd backspace fucking Iran. He'd be like, no more Iran.
fucking fucking control alt delete Iran, just like a fucking giant chasm where Iran used to be.
And everybody's talking about the drafts. There's not gonna be a draft. I am like fucking. There's no need for it. We just have enough troops already, and if there even is a draft, it's gonna be for the fucking people that have under like a 1.5 GPA.
Or people in the reserves are just gonna get
Yeah,
it's gonna dip into people in the reserves.
but fucking apparently, if you sign up for the FAFSA, you sign up for the government draft and stuff. And so, if the government comes to my house, I'm telling them that I'm fucking just mentally retarded and I have flat feet.
I think I'm like I like barely have flat feet.
Um, I have tendonitis in my knee. Like they literally, you have to be in perfect health to join. Like if you, even if you like are in perfect health, but you have like a mental illness, they will not take you.
I have ADHD. That counts.
Yeah, like fucking, like even if you don't have asthma, but like some doctors will prescribe you an asthma inhaler for fucking like some colds or something for like chest colds or to like help. If you even have one of those and you're just like, oh, I have asthma, and you show it to them, they'll like fucking leave you alone.
Yeah, like I've had an inhaler. I haven't like seriously needed it, but I do have one. Like I have like mild asthma. I guess I don't know. Probably
Yeah,
just because my stamina is super duped. But
but yeah, isn't it's definitely not gonna be a world war. If anything, it's just gonna be a scuffle, or like the most it's gonna be is just a fucking quick war in which the U.S. is most likely gonna
I can imagine like Kim Jong Un like fucking watching from the sidelines like, oh
win.
shit.
Kim Jong Un's gonna be like, "Oh fuck, yeah, I didn't know your fucking bombs did that."
Hmm.
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 Hmm. But yeah.
Gongchi Fengshai. That's Chinese. BTS, get them. Fucking, they just like start flipping in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's nothing too serious is gonna come out of it, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, you know, nothing else to talk about, and we've kind of ran over the time. It was only supposed to be an hour, and we've been talking for an hour and 12 minutes. You know,
She.
this was a lot easier than I expected it would be. Once you start talking, it's not that bad.
Yeah, when you talk about things that you enjoy, it's really easy to like just go on a whole tangent.
That's literally one of the main reasons why I wanted to start a podcast is because like I don't want to I don't know enough about politics to be talking about politics, but like the podcasts I listen to are literally just a bunch of fucking fucks just sitting around just talking about whatever, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's hilarious to me, and it like fucking gets so many views, and I'm like, you know what, why don't I give it a shot? I think we're pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, once we get the hang of like talking to this, maybe if I get better internet or like, and then be able to buy my own PC, probably do games and like have a fucking podcast
I was
same
talking to my
time.
parents about it, and I was like, I might be able to fucking, cause I was like, I want to start podcasting. I'm like, oh really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I wish I had a better computer though, cause my PC's fucking potato PC, and like I'm using a straight up microphone as my headset, like a headset microphone. But like I'm pretty sure like once I get a job and stuff, and I'm able to buy my own things without having to worry about anything. Like I saw this guy, and he's like, yeah, I know like a bunch of good mics and stuff, and like stands to get like yourself like a fucking pro setup, like ninja setup type shit. And I was like,
Yeah, like thousands of dollars. I
yeah, it's
feel
not
like there's a
easy.
cat.
I was looking at it, and like the most I would have to spend to like even to get like a decent setup is like at most like $130. So
Yeah, like you just need a microphone, really. But the computer's probably another story.
yeah, but the computer's gonna have to be
Probably,
like a gift for Christmas, dog.
probably. I feel like a decent like laptop, probably like $2,000.
I don't
That's
know.
probably be.
No, a computer for $2,000 is like a desktop computer. A laptop is like probably like for a really good one is like fifteen
I'm talking
hundred
about
to
like
like a
I'm talking
thousand.
about like a gaming laptop
Yeah,
that you can like record and do all that shit on.
and Alienware. Let me look it up. Alienware
I think Jason has like a Razer,
laptop.
and that shit's pretty like dope. Like a Razer laptop, you can go for like 2K.
Yeah, the most recent Alienware. So like the best Alienware you can buy is like is $1,500. Oh my god, never mind. The fucking most recent one is $2,700.
Really, I expected it to be way more expensive than that.
Yeah. The fucking yeah, but like oh yeah, here's one fucking Acer is $700 or like 650. Alienware, like an older model, is like $945. Like you can get like a decent computer for like I'm not planning to play like vid games on it. I'm just planning to like record and stuff on it and like edit on it. So
Yeah,
it's just my computer is really old and fucking laggy, and I like installed like a shit ton of viruses, and I had to I had to wipe the hard drive and then start over again. I had to do it like 2 or 3 times. Like, but yeah. Anywho,
that's what my brothers did to my old computer. They just would like fucking download free Five Nights at Freddy's, fucking shit on my computer. I'm
yeah,
like, God damn it, bro. Like I used to actually like play CS:GO on it, even though it was like super shitty. I actually like managed to like play it in that like in Gmod too. but like they just completely like raped my computer with viruses.
Yeah.
Like they were permanent pop-ups that would like never really didn't like have any way of getting taken off.
Mine was just
This shit.
like it just put I just downloaded so many things and like I'm pretty sure I downloaded a couple viruses because like I would go on like Chrome and it'd do that thing where like it makes another pop up and it's like your computer has been infected with 200,000 million viruses. And it's like, oh, that's
Click this link right now to get rid of the viruses.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay then. And
Put your credit card information for a free virus wipe.
but yeah, this was a good time. Um, well, I don't know when episode 2 is gonna be. I'm probably gonna have to find out.
Whatever like other talking points you had, we can probably bring them back in the next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
So how frequently are we gonna do this? You want to do like every 2 days?
something like I'll figure out the times and I'll probably let you know. But like the thing is that
Because
I have to
like
wait till late.
if we do this like every 2 days, we could probably make enough episodes. Like we can get a little bit of traction. Because like if you have like a viewership, then you can do like once. Because
Yeah,
you at first you gotta be on that grind.
yeah. The thing is that I gotta do it like I gotta wait till late at night, kind of, to do it
Oh,
because of Perontes, and they'll always be fucking bothering me. Be like fucking
oh,
come and walk the dog in the middle of your podcast.
the end.
What?
Um, what
All right. Well.
happened to you? Why were you opening mouth?
What?
Okay,
All right. Well.
I don't know how to end it. You gotta end it.
All right. Well.
Say something.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. I don't fucking know. Um. Thank you for joining me, Lee, because Mitchell
Of
was
course.
being a faggot and didn't want to join me. Stay
Pussy.
tuned for episode 2. It's not gonna be like the fucking episode 2 of the stupid The Last Jedi. It's gonna be good. Trust me. I'll try. I'll try to make it good.
My very best. I will be here.
But yeah, but that's it.